Hey y'all, and welcome to SkyUI Scripting. We are continuing our series on SkyUI Mod Configuration Menus, and in this episode, we're going to focus on the basics of options, the little widgets, the text and the toggles and the drop-downs and the whatever. We're going to focus on each of those individual types of widgets, if you will, in individual episodes. So today, we're just going to look at the basics of working with options, particularly because there's actually two different ways of working with options. Convenient, right? I know it really helps you as a mod author, but they actually each have their benefits. So we're going to jump in. So one of the places that you're probably going to want to go is you're going to want to search, like we did last time, for the SkyUI SDK. And you're going to find it over on GitHub. And here's what you want. You're going to want this. You're going to want this real bad. This is kind of, let me select it. You're going to want these examples. You're going to want these option types. You're going to want these state options are what we're going to look at in this episode. There's a little quick start, although if you're watching this video, this is your quick start. And because I'm going to do episodes on each of those little option types, if you want to, just go to the playlist for this series and you don't have to read this, but if you want to, this is here. Read this. We're actually going to use it as a reference to start with, because we're going to go to this page that talks about the two different ways to add options to the page. But let's see if our mod configuration menu is still working first. We're going to launch our game with our cool mod MCM. I'm going to hop in the game and see if it's still there. Ooh, can I pause? I want to pause. It stole my mouse. Okay, I'm in game. Let's see if we got a menu that we made last time. No, not an axe. We want a menu. It says it registered a new menu. That's good. Mod configuration. Cool mod. Cool, we got a little widget. These police sirens could stop. That would be sweet. Alright, so let's piece out of there and open it up in Creation Kit so that you can edit the code and go along with this episode. Well, I guess fine. Had this configured for foo, apparently, whatever that was. Here is the MCM. And as always, you can open this up however you want to, and that little white box is because I've got the Creation Kit SSE fixes installed, which you probably want. And this is blue because of the unofficial SkyUI Creation Kit patch, all the normal things. We're going to open up our cool mod. We want it to be active. Thank you for reminding us, Creation Kit. We appreciate it. And once it's loaded on up, we're looking for cool mod. Here's our cool mod quest. And if you remember, MCM configuration scripts are quest scripts, really. It's kind of the way that they work. So I think so. I know so because I checked the code. And our code inherits from config base, as we're about to see. Right-click, edit source. We extend the Sky config base, and if you're curious, this Sky config base, which we got set up last time so that we can actually compile our code, if you look at it if you want to, it extends this thing called quest base, and the quest base extends a quest. So underneath the covers, our Sky config base is really a quest. But what you want to do in this episode is edit this box. Here's what we have in the box right now. We're going to open it up in Notepad so you can see it bigger. That's what we got. It's something like what we had last time. So we're going to edit this. We're going to add some more options to see how adding options is. The first way we're going to do it is using states. But I'm going to switch on over, like I always do, to Visual Studio Code. Be right back. And I'm back. Fancy colors, not fancy colors. Fancy colors, not fancy colors. I'm going to close Notepad. And as always, just put this code in the little box. So we're going to do pages and layouts next time. It's going to be on the next episode. What we're going to do is look at options. And we're going to add stateless ones and then stateful ones. Sort of. I don't have a better name for them. There are options called state options, which use states in a really smart way. And then there are ones that don't use states. So just add toggle option like we have here is one that doesn't use states. So how do we find out if they click on the toggle? We didn't look at that last time. Well, there's an event. There's an event called event on option select. I hope I have that correct. We'll find out soon. And it takes the option ID. So what is this option ID that you speak of? Well, whenever you call something like add option, it returns an integer. So the way that you actually write this code is int hello, because we called the toggle hello. So let's say hello toggle option ID equals add toggle option. And then we check in here if this ID equals this ID. So if we want to check in an event that this ID equals this ID, we got to get this out of this event. We got to move it up here so that we can share the code. So what we're going to do is we could do it above or under this config in it. I'll do it up here. We're going to say int, just like here. We're going to do the same thing. Boop. We're just going to put it up there. And we'll also do this. So down here is where we set it, but we define it up here so that we can use it down here. Thank you for honking your horns. It's very helpful. So now we can say if the option ID of the thing that's being selected is equal to the same as the toggle option ID, then we'll do something. We'll say debug.messageBox. You clicked hello. And that's not very useful if we don't have two of them, because we can't tell the difference. So we're going to make a goodbye one. For God's sake. Honk, 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 honk. There's lots of sirens outside my apartment. Don't forget to subscribe to my Twitch. It's going to be great when we stream. It's going to be great. I've got ideas of how to deal with the sirens when we stream. It'll be great. I do actually want you to go subscribe to my Twitch. I may or may not have actually started streaming yet. I just put the Twitch up a couple days ago, but I want to stream. I want to stream. It's going to be fun. I'm probably not going to stream little things like beginner basics and mod configuration menu episodes, because we want these to be nice and concise. That's why I'm rambling during it. Really helps. But I want to do those ones where I'm like making mods. That'll be fun. So else if the option ID is equal to the goodbye toggle, we'll debug.messageBox. You clicked goodbye. You click hello. I click bye. I say go, go, no. However that goes. Thank you, Beatles. We got it. Let's do it. Let's build it. Control S and make sure it works. 1916, I broke something. Oh, I accidentally pasted. Didn't mean to paste, I meant to build. So Control S and it should work for you. Let's head on into game. For me, because I'm using Mod Organizer 2, I'm going to close Creation Kit. But you can stay in Creation Kit if you're not using Mod Organizer 2 and just run on over and launch your game with SKSE. And let's open up the menu. Yeah. Some of you already know this from my episodes. The real reason I pause when we launch the game is so I can sip my tea. It's good tea. I mean my caffeine. Alright, we're in game, and as always, I clicked the mouse, and so a stupid axe comes up. But that's okay. We're going to go to System, Mod Configuration, and look at our cool mod. Where's goodbye? Goodbye's over here. That's kind of unexpected. You might expect that things go down. Like, make a thing, make a thing, make a thing, make a thing, make a thing. But they don't. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can have 128 of these widgets on a page, and that's how it goes. But there is a configuration option, which we'll look at in the layouts episode next, for how to make them go down and how to manage columns and things like that. What we want to see is if these work. So we're going to click on hello. You clicked hello, yeah. We're going to click on goodbye. Woohoo, you click goodbye. Now the toggles don't actually toggle. It doesn't do anything. Let's show you how to do that because, you know, that's a good little thing to show you how to do. So let's say that hello and goodbye are just like little booleans. Like you're going to configure whether or not your mod hellos versus whether or not your mod goodbyes, or if it does both or neither. So we're going to do that with little configuration variables. We're just going to call it boolean does hello, boolean does goodbye. And then when we click down here, we can switch it. So we'll do like, if it's the hello toggle, then we can say if does hello. If it does hello, then we will say it doesn't hello. And if it doesn't hello, we'll say it does hello. We're just reversing them. So if does hello is configured yes, it's checked, then we will uncheck it. And then if it's configured not checked, then we'll check it. So first we'll set these little variables, and then we'll tell the checkbox to update, and we'll give it the value. So we'll say set toggle option value. We use the integer again. So the hello toggle option ID, we use that. And then we say whether or not it's checked, true or false, and we're going to use our boolean does hello. So now if we go into game, you should be able to check the hello one. And let's go in game. Here's our mod configuration menu. Let's go to cool mod. Alright, well actually, one thing I notice right now is by default, hello and goodbye are checked. Hello and goodbye are checked because when we made them, we said that they should be checked. We made a toggle called hello and we said it should be checked. We made a toggle called goodbye and we said it should be checked. So really, we probably wanted to make this does hello. We wanted to make this does goodbye. And if we update that, then they should both be false when we start. And in game, we can go to our cool mod, and they're both turned off. And if I do hello, we still have that click thingy, but we can also see that it clicked on, and it clicks off, and it clicks on, and it clicks off. Hooray! Goodbye doesn't, so if we want to, we could fix that real easily right now. And back in the code, we got this hello. We don't need this pop-up anymore. And if we wanted to support the goodbye, I guess we could just copy all the hello code in there, and I'll just change hello to goodbye. Cool. Except it's a little bit long. So if true, set it to false. Otherwise, if it's false, set it equal to true. The easier way to do this is you could just say instead does hello equals the opposite of does hello. And if you're not familiar, the way that you can do that is this way. Boop. So does hello equals the opposite of hello. That's called a not operator. It equals not does hello. And so we could do the same thing for our goodbye. We could put it right here. Boop. Boop. And I'm just going to change that to say goodbye. And change this thing to say goodbye. Cool, and there we go. Now you can probably guess that if you have hundreds of widgets, which a lot of you will, or at least dozens, this is going to get pretty long. It's going to get really long. There's a downside to that. Let me show you, what I'm going to show you is that in addition to highlighting, or to selecting, I jumped ahead. In addition to selecting things, you can highlight them. You put your mouse cursor over them, just like I am here. And just like Visual Studio Code shows me what this function does, you can make it so text shows up that'll show users what your little widget does. So let's show you that, and then we're going to look at making it stateful. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this whole on option select. We're going to rename it. We're going to rename it on option highlight, if I can rename it. Okay, so on option highlight. I don't think it's on option highlighted. On option, it's highlighted. Good, good, cool. Instead of actually reversing stuff or toggling any kind of options, what we want to do is we just want to say like, hey, this is what the hello toggle does. It makes the mod hello. So we can say what you do is whenever the hello toggle option is highlighted by the mouse, which we know from this conditional, it says, hey, here's what's currently being highlighted, and if what's currently being highlighted is our hello, then we will set info text. This option makes the mod hello. And for the other one, we'll say this one makes the option, makes the mod goodbye. Save and build that and see that in game. And let's take a look-see here. System mod configuration, cool mod. Now I'm going to put the mouse cursor over hello. Ooh, see that? Look at the text that shows up right there. It's gone, and it's there. It's there, it's gone. It's there, it's gone. It's there, it's gone. That's what it does. That's what it does. That's what it does. Give me my mouse. Give me my mouse and put it there. Okay, so one of the downsides of this is you end up with one on option select event, which can be hundreds and hundreds or thousands of lines long. I've seen them like this in other people's mods. Because in other people's mods, you should go read their MCM menus. It's good to learn. So there's a totally different way of doing this. We're going to get rid of all these. You know, you can go back in the video and see how we did it later. Because there's benefits to the way that that's done. And actually, I'll show you one convention. We call this hello toggle option ID. What a lot of people will do is instead of ending this with option ID, they'll say OID for option ID underscore. You'll see this all over the place. And this is a fine convention. It's Hungarian notation. This is an option ID. And so you can make sure that you use that everywhere. Da 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 da. Oh my goodness, let me replace them all. Cool, and I replaced them. So this is a pretty good example. This is a pretty typical example. There's some config options that are just stored in private fields up here. Sometimes people will make these properties, like so. We've gone over that in the beginner basics properties episode. We went on into all kinds of specifics about properties and how they work. Some people will make this a property, and if it's a property, I'd probably capitalize it, so that other parts of your mod can easily get this value. They can get your MCM value, mod configuration object, and they can say, hey, am I supposed to hello? Hey, am I supposed to goodbye? So you can do that. Let's make them the private fields again, because we're going to reuse this code, sort of. But I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. And what we're going to do, we're going to re-add our hello toggle, but we're going to do it in a different way. What we're going to do is we're going to say add toggle option st. It's basically the same. But instead of taking the name of the toggle first, it takes the name of a state, but really you should give this the name of your toggle. You should call this something like hello toggle. And then you give it the name, so hello. And then you give it the default value, so does hello. Cool. Then you can give it some extra flags. You can give both of these extra flags, like you can make them disabled or hidden by default and stuff like that. We'll go over that at some point. So instead of this, we do this. But how do we get the integer? How do we get this option ID thingy? Because this one, it doesn't return an integer. With stateful options, You don't need to track the IDs. You don't do that at all. That's just not how you do it. Let's get rid of this. Goodbye. We do it a totally different way. The way you do it is every widget gets its own state. So you say state, and then the name of your widget, like hello toggle, and then end state, and then inside you put some functions. You put events, some events. Instead of on option select, you say on select st. I think so. Yeah, I was right. Okay, I went to the documentation. I couldn't remember. On select st doesn't take anything. Bubkits. And this is your little event where you do something if it gets selected. So we can say debug, message box, you clicked on the stateful hello or something like that. And then if you can probably guess, you can say right next to it on highlight, and you say ST. All those STs are for stateful. It's just an easy way so that you can, in your code, quickly see which things are stateful and which things aren't, because you can mix and match them as well. So on highlight, we'll say set info text. This is the coolest hello ever. And let's take a look-see at that. And in Skyrim, escape, stupid axe, mod configuration, cool mod. I need to like make a mod that doesn't auto-equip the hand with an axe for this default character, because it just bothers me so much whenever I click into the window. It always brings up his stupid axe, and that's very aggressive. It's more aggressive than I want in our episodes. So let's hover over hello. Let's see what it says. Probably need to run this video in HD to be able to read it, but it says this is the coolest hello ever. And if you click it, you clicked on the stateful hello. Cool! Coolio! Cool times! So if we go back here, I'm going to zoom out a bit. If we wanted to make a goodbye, we don't have to mix our goodbye and our hello in the same big old event function. We have entirely separate states. They're entirely separate. Now the code's a little bit longer, but it's so nice. This is the coolest goodbye ever. And I mean, you know this is gonna work. It's gonna work if I compile it right. Goodbye. Not Google. Goodbye. I said Google. Guess because I just Googled for the SkyUI stuff. Okay, let's see if I can click into this box without that dude and his axe. Ooh, good. Just gotta click on the title bar apparently. Let's go to Cool Mod. And look at the bottom. We're gonna go over to hello, and it says something about hello. And this one says something about goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Click on it. Click on it. Cool. Cool. It's a cool mod. It's cool. This whole thing is cool. Here's what I'm going to say, and we're going to go over this in the next episode, which is about pages and layouts, because right now we've got one page, and all we're doing is whenever the page resets, we're adding these toggles. We're not saying, which page am I on? What we've been doing instead in this episode is saying, which option is it? Here's my recommendation to you. If you're making a mod configuration menu with like one page that has a dozen options, maybe 2 pages. If you got less than like a dozen options, maybe 20 or something, use the states. Use the states. If you got more than like 2 pages, check out the pages and layouts episode that we're about to do in a second, and I'll show you better ways to organize your pages, because one of the patterns that I've noticed in Skyrim mods is when you read other people's MCM scripts, they're like 7,000 lines long. I'm not kidding. Not even close to kidding. Some of them are longer than that. they can be 10,000 lines of code, and they're super obnoxious to go through. If you have the Papyrus thingy installed, you can always go to the outline, and in my MCM menus, this is super helpful. I don't know if I've ever shown this to people. If you have Visual Studio Code and you use the Papyrus extension like I do, you can actually you can see and you can collapse all these. You can go through and you can click all of your little states, and you can jump around the page to them, and you can jump up here and it'll go to different parts of the page. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It'll help in a giant file, but my recommendation is to not have giant files because it's crazy. So hop on over to that video playlist, and if the next episode is out, which if it's not out yet, it'll be out within a week. I'm doing a release cadence of like about a week, if not half a week, for these episodes. Go watch it. Pages and layouts. It's called something like that. I haven't made it. I'm going to make it right after I make a new mug of tea. So this was mod configuration, the basics of working with something. Options. Ta-da! All right, go on out there. Start working on your cool mod configuration menus for your cool mods. Hop on over to the video playlist and watch the next episode, and we will continue watching how to make a cool mod MCM menu. All right, bye everyone. Peace and happy modding. Happy modding, everyone. All right, bye.